everyone, it's Miss Emma here at the Children's Museum of Green Bay. And today is the fourth and final day of our super fun celebration of Wisconsin Science Festival. So for the past couple days, we have been doing some super cool science or colored themed science experiments here at the museum. And we are bringing it to you virtually on our Facebook page. So we're still able to celebrate this festival with you this year. We're so excited to be a part of it again. And if you haven't already, make sure you go to wisconsinsciencefestival.org. Website is right here. And they have the entire list of all of the super exciting, super fun science events and programs that are happening all over the state. There are so many great things that are happening. And like I said, if you haven't done that, be sure to, because there are a lot of very cool things that are happening in celebration of this science festival. So we have done chromatography. We have done rainbow film, the exploration of thin films. And we've done plastic fusion. So today we are doing magic milk, is what we like to call it. It looks kind of like magic, but it's really science. So what I have for my supplies today I have my milk, and you can use, I have 2% milk. You can use whole milk also. That works well. I have a little dish of Dawn dish soap. I have Q-tips. And I have some food coloring. And I have 4 different colors because I like to use a lot of color with this. So I picked out 4 of my favorite colors to use. So let's get started on this. So to begin with, I use 2% milk, and like I said, you can use whole milk too, because these types of milk have the most fats in them. So that'll have something to do with, I'll explain a little more once we get into our experiment. So I also have this little tray here too, that has a lip on it, because if it's gonna hold liquid, we don't want it perfectly flat, because liquid, it'll just pour everywhere. So what I will do, and I'll scoot this tray a little closer to the camera a little bit, so you can see it better. What I'm gonna do is just fill the bottom of my tray here. And it doesn't need to be this big either. You can even use like a small dish or a bowl, anything like that. It'll work just the same. I have a couple bubbles floating around here. Okay, so we have our layer of 2% milk here. And now I'm going to take my food coloring, and I'm just going to drip a couple drops of each color throughout. Woo! And I'm sliding it over to you. Okay. So I'll drip a couple more drops here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can cover it. You can cover the milk with all this color, but I like to leave a little bit of white in there, because it helps us kind of see our experiment a little easier. And pink, I had a pink in here. So I dropped my colors in there and I will set those aside. So now I'm gonna grab my Q-tip, and we just need one. And what I'm going to do first, I'll dip, I have a dry end and then I have an end with Dawn dish soap on it. So I'm gonna dip one end into one of the colors. And I dipped it into blue, and all I really did was soak up the colored milk. It didn't really do a whole lot on the tray here. But if I flip it over, I'm gonna dip it in the middle again. And it makes fireworks. Look at it moving around. All of the colors are just shooting off into different directions. How cool does that look? I love it. It turns kind of tie-dye. So when I put the dish soap in the center of one of the colors, it looked like a firework, right? So it shot off into different directions. So when the dish soap is added to the milk, what it does is all of those molecules are running around trying to capture all of the fat molecules, the nutrients, the proteins, the minerals that are kind of floating around in your milk. And so that's why we put color in it, so you can see the directions that all of these molecules are going into. And it's still moving around here. So that means that it's still trying to catch it's trying to clean the milk, is basically what it's doing. I call them little like superheroes. They're flying off in all different directions, trying to capture all of these fats and minerals and proteins that are in there. So, and then when it's all done, so you can keep trying. You can dip your Q-tip back in the dish soap. And you can continue doing this. So it looks like there's still some fat molecules and all of that still in the milk. So sometimes you can do this for a while the dish soap keeps cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, because that's its job, right? And then when it kind of slows down a little more, that means it's getting close to being done with its job of cleaning. So it's still moving around there. But we'll watch this for a couple more seconds, see if there's another little firework there. Looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit. Because we'll do this one more time so you can see the first fireworks that happen, if you missed it before. So I'll make sure not to spill this everywhere and move it off to the side. And I'll grab my other handy dandy tray. So like we did before, I'll fill the bottom with the milk. All right. Then we'll put some dots of color in there. So like I said, to start, before we did the experiment the first time, I said maybe just kind of keep a little bit of white milk still showing, because it really does fill up with color after we do the experiment. So it is kind of cool to see how all the colors start mixing together and pushing each other around. All right, and I'll do my red here. Put it next to my blue. Maybe we'll get some purple. We're doing a little color mixing too. All right, so I'll just dip my dry end in there, and we know that it doesn't do anything really, right? So we will flip it over, and we will try it with the Dawn dish soap end. Let's see, let's start in the middle with this one. Here, I'll scooch this forward a little bit. I'll go, look at that. Darting in all directions. How cool. And this is an experiment that you can do at home too. So you can use different colors, whatever colored food coloring you have, or if you have liquid watercolors and you have a wider range of colors, you can do that too. You can experiment on your own with this, because it always turns out different, the way they shoot off in the different directions. They're still expanding the color, little color dots that I put in there. They're still expanding and being pushed. Awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you again for tuning in to this very exciting color experiment that we have for our final day of celebration of our Wisconsin Science Festival. So we do have our other videos still on our Facebook, or you could go to our YouTube and you can rewatch them or watch them for the first time so you can join on in, because the celebration of science doesn't need to stop here. It can go throughout the entire year. But again, the Children's Museum of Green Bay is so excited to be a part of this amazing celebration of science, this awesome science festival again this year. And we appreciate you doing all of these science experiments with us. And just continue checking out our Facebook page for our new and upcoming events and programs that we have going on. So I guess that's it. My colors are still swirling around and creating some tie-dye here. So, and then I have to dump all the milk out. So thank you so much for joining us again, and check back into our Facebook page to see what we have going on. Thank you guys.